Welcome to the apex of sports ownership, the Apex Athletic Collective.
Yo, yo, yo.
Hey, what's up? This is Jake, Jakey Muffins, and we got Spacely here for this episode. I think both of us were having some camera issues, so I have mine on my phone and my laptop next to me. That's why the picture looks weird. And Spacely, I think, isn't able to get the camera to work, so he's audio only.
Yeah, we're here. We're just not here. So,
Yeah, yeah.
what's up, man?
I'm doing good. I just got to the hotel. Explains the change of scenery for me today. So I'll be at the game this weekend, tomorrow in Nashville.
Oh, yeah. Redemption, baby. That's all I got to say about this one.
Yeah,
Hopefully, this one goes just a little bit better in terms of wins and losses. Hopefully, we get this one kind of get back on track from here. What do you say?
yeah. Hopefully, that's definitely our plan for this weekend.
Oh, yeah. It's a
Yeah.
nice little travel road trip as well for the guys. Get them outside of the state for the first time.
Yeah, yeah, and it works out nice with the holiday weekend. How was your Thanksgiving?
It was good, man. We kind of we end up going over to my grandpa's sister every year, so we just kind of kept that tradition alive and got a chance to spend it with my family, which is always great. Got a lot of got picked on a lot by my grandpa because the
Yeah.
baby's on the way, so that was always fun, So, how about you, man? How was yours?
It was nice. It was a little different. So since I just moved to Florida, everybody else is still up north, except for my brother. So my brother and I, we live together. So we just got like DoorDash, and we just hung out
Uh,
for the day, watched football.
that's cool. What games did you watch?
We watched all of them, and unfortunately, not really competitive though. But it was nice to see Turpin get the touchdown.
Yeah, it was bittersweet. I
Yeah,
had
yes,
a
I saw it was bittersweet for you.
14 legger and couldn't get it past the second leg because of a couple touchdowns near the end of that game. But that's here nor there. That's a different. We'll talk about that
Yeah,
later. Oh man, I could have been rich if it wasn't for Turpin and uh,
yeah.
and Sam Howell throwing a pick six and the Commanders not giving up more than 21 points anyway. But
Yeah.
the way it rolls, I guess. But that's cool, man. That's good to hear that you and your brother got some time together, man. That's always dope.
Yeah, it was nice
So,
to hang out.
yeah, for sure. So tonight we got a big night for the guys in the chat, for the guys and girls in the chat, ladies. Um, you want to go through kind of what we're thinking as far as it's a Black Friday, so we kind of wanted in spirit of that we wanted to do something. So I'll let you kind of I did my bit of spoiling. I'll let you lead into
Yeah.
the meat of the subject.
Yeah, so we had a little promo going on with our people that are part of our Patreon. We're doing a little bit of a giveaway for Black Friday. We're going to be doing a wheel spin with the people who are our subscribers, and one of you will be lucky enough to win a gift card to our shop, and you'll be able to get some Instigators merchandise.
Ooh, ain't nothing like getting fresh. I'm gonna tell you what.
Yeah,
Oh man, yeah. This is something Corey and I have been talking about over the past few weeks, and just kind of worked perfectly with everything, with the holidays and just in time for Christmas. So you'll get this tonight. Hopefully, be able to place your order as soon as possible. Get it ahead of Christmas and have a nice little stocking stuffer for yourself or another Instigators fan that you want to pass the gift along to. I guess I could say. So that's always cool. I went and made about 20 accounts myself, even though we got
yeah,
17 in the wheel spin. So I'm just, I'm just saying, I might win it, might not. I doubt I will because none of that's actually true, but it's worth a shot.
But I see we got Jason in the chat. He's looking forward to the wheel spin, so maybe he'll wind up winning that gift card, get himself some merchandise.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool, man. I know he's already decked out in a ton of it, so that'd be awesome just to get another
Yeah.
little item in the lid or in the basket. Why not? Um, but yeah, I'm just excited for that, man. I'm excited. Like we said earlier, heading to Nashville tomorrow. Gonna be playing the Nashville Aces. Looking to go 2-2 and kind of get back on track a little bit. I know the guys are all excited as well, so just looking forward to that, man. And win or lose, it's another learning curve for the AAC, for the Apex Athletic Collective as well.
Mhm.
As all of this is, so just excited, dude. Just a couple more big announcements that we'll get into toward throughout the show, I guess, and uh, looking forward to making those announcements as well. I know Corey, he's been working hard behind the scenes to get those things, get everything situated with those. So he's not here tonight as well, but just want to give him another shout out to one half of Frosty McSpacely. So I got to show him some love. I rarely do that, so got to
Yeah,
give him his love.
and he'll be the other half of Frosty Muffins is the name for the next fan controlled show as well. So he's got
Yeah.
kind of a double dipping with that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Poor guy.
Yeah.
I guess today would be Jakey Spacely. What are we going with today?
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah, so on track with the show. There's a couple big news. Let's get into the player of the game, man. Uh, before we keep before we head into any other news, let's go ahead and give our guys some love. I know that we had another four-way vote for
yeah.
player of the game this week, and again, it was very close. Uh, so let me double check real quick and just make
Yep.
sure. Okay, so we had
Yeah.
Dylan Ware. He was nominated again for player of the week. Along with Dylan, we had Joe Bird, Alex Brown, Mr. AB himself, and Mr. Swish, Lawan Whitney. And it was a very close vote this time. Some of the past few weeks we've had a couple big blowout votes, but this one, I know I remember going in our Discord just a day or two ago. Actually, I think it's still the last message in the chat, and it's like AB is getting robbed. So that tells you what the fans were thinking in terms of who they wanted to become player of the week. Who did we end up with? Oh,
It
he's right
actually it
there.
wound up yeah, it wound up being AB. We almost had a three-way tie, which would have been a little bit difficult for us to settle, but I think when they looked at the stats, they saw the double double, almost 20 rebounds in addition to 22 points,
Insane.
9 blocks, 6 assists, 1 steal. So I mean that's he definitely deserved the player of the week. I think Dylan will get player of the week one of these weeks coming up. He's had several great games as well, but that's our
Oh yeah.
first two-time player of the game. It's AB. Congratulations.
And both of the times he has got more rebounds in a single game than I've had my entire life. So you gotta give it
Yeah.
him you gotta give him his credit there, man. Alex Brown with another player of the game, making it his second player of the game this year so far, which is huge. He's starting to show early signs of being a fan favorite. Obviously, there's I don't believe there's much bias going into these votes. I think the fans really do come at it with a even mindset in terms of they go off of the stats. The stats are more important to our fans, I think, than just player to fan connection. But obviously, Alex Brown, he's been big with the community as well, with the especially with the children on site at the games. I know he's been a big hit for those people, for those for the youth, for the fans in general. So Maybe there is, maybe there ain't. I don't think there is that much, but 22 points, 19 rebounds, 9 blocks is I mean, and then the others, I mean, 6 assists, 1 steal. He's just fluffing the stat pad. He's stat padding nowadays. That
Yeah.
guy's just doing his thing. So gotta give love to AB as always. That's my guy. That's our guy. So just really cool to see. Number 7.
Yeah. And I think, him being 7 foot also helps a little bit of that fan connection because everybody wants to get a picture with a 7 footer. It's kind of cool to see how you stack up against that.
I remember when the first time I got to meet him in person, because obviously there's been a lot of talks like leading up through the season and group chats or just chat in general. Um, but first time I got to see him, I was over there working on the speakers because we had issues at that moment, and so I was lucky enough to be I don't know what you call that, like a balcony or whatnot, a stage, the stage.
Mhm.
And so luckily I had about 3 foot on him. When I first got to meet him, I was standing at a good 10 foot tall. So I wasn't uh I wasn't jealous of the size by any means when I first got to meet him. I don't know about everybody else, but I
Yeah.
was actually for a moment in my life I was taller than Alex Brown, guys. And that's you can ask him, that's the truth.
Yeah.
It didn't last long because I was only working on the speakers for so long. But for a brief moment in time it lasted. Should have got a picture. I should have got a picture standing next to him that way, and then instead of any other way.
Yeah, you just would have to get it like from the chest up so people wouldn't be able to tell like, you're standing up higher than him.
Yeah, yeah. Standing in at 11 foot one,
Yeah.
spacely. Why isn't that guy on the court? I've been saying that this whole time.
Yeah, no,
Oh man,
talking about the game last week, we had a really big game. We
yeah.
matched up against the Lions, number one ranked team according to the power rankings in the ABA. We gave them
Hmm.
our all. I mean, the first half we led, I believe, the whole entire first half, and they wound up taking the lead late into the third.
Yeah,
And then the fourth quarter, I think everybody, at least on our end, there's a lot of foul calls that were a little questionable, but you can't really control that stuff. But in the end, uh, we had a close game, 110 to 118.
yep, yeah, and I think Coach made a big emphasis on it this week. I think he plans to work the majority of our roster, and that's been kind of on the shorter end of the stick when it comes to playing time. I
Mhm.
think that's one of the issues that we kind of ran into this week as well, just based on discussions. Um, Dylan and AB, those are two major pieces, but how many times can we give those guys 40 plus minutes, and really expect that to work long term? So I think we're gonna get our minutes out of those guys, but it's also gonna be good to be able to see um some other new names on the roster get their love as well. I know I'm looking forward to seeing Chance Fry play a little bit more. He's been
Yeah.
one of the guys he's been a guest on the podcast just a few weeks ago for fans that are in the loop on that end. And I'm looking forward to seeing those guys be able to get their shot as well. I also want to see Alex Brown come out and get another 40 rebound game. Why not?
Yeah.
So uh, I think fresh legs are one of the things that's going to really get us throughout this early stretch of the season, and maybe turn a couple of those late quarter hiccups into more successful runs for the team as well. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, and I know this past week we saw Joe Bird come off of the bench, and I thought that actually was like one of the game changers. Every time he'd come off the bench, he seemed to bring a ton of energy with him. So sometimes, I mean, you just have one or two guys come off the bench, and they put out production, and that can change the whole game plan for the other team.
Yeah, how about Joe Bird too? Let's give him a shout out, man. I again, me and you were commentating remotely, so we didn't get the joy of being in the stands at that moment. But from what I've heard, there was roughly about maybe 50 plus people in that at the gym in George Washington High School this past Saturday, Sunday, and roughly about 30 plus of those people were just Joe Bird fans. And
Wow. Yeah.
that's not fluffing the numbers. You could hear it in the crowd. Every time he did something, the crowd just freaking lit up. It was insane. I was like sitting at home. I'm like, wait, why are? I remember somebody made a comment and they was like, man, are they cheering for the right team? What's going on here? Aren't we an away
Yeah.
team? It's like I told them. I said, oh yeah, that was during our owner meeting. I was like, man, look,
Hmm.
any game we have in Indiana is the Hoosier State Instigators home game. It just might
Yeah.
not be at our home venue, but we're gonna get our fans out there just as much as they're gonna get their fans there too. So it was
Yeah.
cool to be able to sway such a neutral field, neutral court, I guess you could call it.
Hmm.
Cool to be able to try and sway that as much in the direction of the instigators as we could. So that was awesome.
Yeah, it was really nice to see being our first away game. I mean, in schedule sense, even though Indiana, we are Hoosier State, but I mean that was crazy. Just listening to the stream every time he hit a basket, it was like you could hear just a bunch of people cheering for him, which was really cool to see.
Brought back flashbacks of my younger days.
Yeah.
Man, I was nowhere near as good as Joe Bird was at basketball when I was younger, but but I like to think I was at least on 2K. You know, I had my
Yeah.
runs. Anyways, oh man. Um,
Yeah.
so we're getting close to midway. Do you want to? What do you think? You want to go ahead and get this wheel popped up for these guys and kind of just run through it
Yeah.
one last time for those that are joining in a bit later?
Yeah. Let's go ahead and do that. Share my screen. All right. So, oh, let me see. It looks like it spun automatically.
For you,
Um,
oh man, what do we do here? Oh man.
uh, um,
Congrats to Matthew. I know
yeah,
this is probably Peanut. Um,
yeah. I guess
sorry,
we'll
Peanut.
explain it. Yeah, we'll explain it. I guess after it spun. But for those of you who joined late, it looks like this thing spun automatically once it switched over. It might have been something to do with my internet connection. I'm at a hotel, so it's a little laggy here. Um, but it looks, we were doing a spin here. We have all of our subscribers' names for our Patreon. And it looks like Matthew, I believe, well, was Peanut from Fan Controlled for those of us who know him. He won our gift card to our Apex merchandise shop. So congratulations to Matthew.
Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, we will get that sent over tonight, so you will be able to use that again. Um, like we said earlier, we want the gift card for you to be able to get a Christmas gift for yourself or for another Instigators fan, most likely ahead of Christmas. So the quicker you're able to check out, the better on that end, especially with just shipping. You know how it gets around that time of the year. But the gift card will actually remain active into the first week of January. As it was actually provided to us by our manufacturer, so we don't necessarily get to set an exact date on that. So the sooner the better for you to be able to use it. But congratulations, Peanut Man. That's so awesome. I'm so glad it was somebody. I mean, I would have been happy that it's anybody on our subscriber list, but knowing the backstory behind Peanut and having him being one of the core members of the ownership group as far as a supporter level. I know he's been here since day one, so it's really dope to have him as the winner for this one.
Yeah, and it's nice. It's nice from my side as well. You know, he was one of the main voices behind the fan controlled racing, and they had that vote, or well, they had the vote, and then they pulled the names for the faces on the car. Unfortunately, he wasn't one of the names that got pulled for that, so I'm glad we're able to have him win something here. You know, even though he wasn't
Absolutely.
able to get his face on that car, you know, that I wound up being on there, but he was definitely one of the leading voices behind that whole thing.
Yeah, I I actually dubbed him the fan controlled fanslater for anybody
Yeah,
that was wondering what the heck a wedge is and all of these things in racing. And I was like, we might as well get Peanut here to translate everything. Let's just call him the fanslater and get him in that role because that's my go-to guy whenever I'm like, what the heck are we even talking about? All I know is the car goes left. And
yeah,
then another left. And then another. So yeah, man. Congrats again to our guy Peanut. That's so cool, dude. Oh
yeah.
man. That's got me
Congrats,
hyped.
Peanut. Thank you for your support here.
Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah. Again, I'll echo that. Thank you, man. So let's see, where else we got? Oh, let's get into the next news of the day. Um, so again, Corey, he's been working heavily. Our guy, the chairman of everything here. Former co-host, he hasn't been here for 2 weeks, so we'll get past that part real quick. But uh, he's been working heavy on the back end. Really locking in with the community in Clinton, Indiana, and being able to spread awareness of the ownership group and the franchise, the Hoosier State Instigators franchise. And there's been a lot of talks in Patreon, a lot of talks just all around, revolving around the new hangout for the Hoosier State Instigators. Uh, we just wrapped up our fan vote for the nickname of the hangout area, and the Gator Pit looks like it blew everything else away by far. With 91% of the vote, only other option with the vote was your favorite, Jake, the Hoosier State Hideaway, which either way
Yeah,
it both sounds sweet. We'll probably have to toss that in somewhere throughout the long run of this. But the Gator Pit, it was deemed to be the nickname of the official fan zone of the Instigators, and just ahead of this show, Corey gets a hold of the owners and says that we've actually locked in the official provider for such a hangout, and it will be the Adventure Beer Company in Clinton, Indiana. They they not only will they be the official adult beverage provider, I guess you could say,
yeah,
um, they'll also have the luxury of being able to stream all of our away games for anybody in attendance at the adult beverage providing location. The bar, guys, the bar.
yeah,
Okay, let's stop beating around the bush again. But so the Gator Pit will be hosted at the Adventure Beer Company, just a couple blocks away from the Clinton CRC. So that makes it really cool as well. Um, for those who partake in adult beverages. So just really cool. The guys to be able to go there after games during home games and kind of celebrate the wins, kind of drown their sorrows in the losses. And the supporters of the instigators can go there during our away games and be able to catch the games that are hosted live on our Patreon, just like you guys will be able to do from your house. So again, if you're ever in the area for a home game at the Clinton CRC for your Hoosier State Instigators, we would love to have you there as well. And after the game, head over to the Adventure Beer Company, the official adult beverage provider of your Hoosier State Instigators, and go hang out at the Gator Pit with the guys. You'll be able to also order specific drinks at the location that are based around the Instigators. My favorite at the moment being the bold ejection, based on Joe Bird's ejection just a few weeks ago. It's a pretty cool one, and the triple double delight based on Dylan Ware and Alex Brown having their two triple doubles to start the season off. So those are my two favorite names. I'm not so much of a drinker, but it's just awesome to be able to see those guys getting their love in the community, especially um, with such a supportive company as well. So we're happy to have those guys in the mix with the ownership group and the franchise as well.
Yeah, no, it's awesome to have that. I mean, the Gator Pit where I live in Florida, you probably don't want to be in the Gator Pit, but in in at the Adventure Beer Company, that's where you want to be. You'll be able to watch the games and stuff, which is it's pretty cool. To know that we have a place like, it's an actual sports bar and you can watch our games live there. And that's a pretty big accomplishment. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. It's really cool. Just all of this is like one of those moments. All everything that happens is just another one of those moments. I guess that is just like, well, like, hey, we're here again. It's like I don't
Yeah.
even know how to explain it in words. It's just like, man, it always boils down to that one word. It's just surreal. Everything that happens with the ownership group and the team and everything. It's just like every week gets better and better. It's like, wow, we're doing this, dude. 1-2, much rather be 3-0. Other than that,
Yeah.
I'm happy, man. You know?
Yeah, you just have to be selective on when you use the wording "best day ever." So we don't run into any more talks with your dad after that.
Yeah, yeah. It was. I mean, it is leading up to the next moment. So like, why not?
Yeah,
At the time, it was true. Now it's still true at this moment. So,
yeah,
but yeah, that is a good bit of advice in hindsight.
yeah.
Oh man. But yeah. So, what are you looking forward to this week? Are there any players that you're looking forward to seeing? Kind of if they haven't already, or even if they have been, is there any other player that you have on your spotlight at the moment that you're looking to see how they perform?
Uh, I have one like I've seen him. He's been performing well. Is Swish, but he got signed after our first game, so I didn't get to see him play in person because I was only there for that first game. So I'm looking forward to seeing him, play in person. Hopefully, he can get a little bit more than 25. I know the first two games he's had a solid 25 both weeks, so I wonder if he'll keep that up. Um, and if we're mixing some more of our guys who have been on the bench, I'm looking forward to seeing Jesse Sawyer get a little bit more playing time. I know we heard a lot about him, like kind of leading up to the season. I look forward to seeing what he can do with some more time on the court.
Yeah, those are both good takes, man. I'd have to agree with you as well on both ends. I know Swishy has been doing his thing, man. 25 just seems like first of all, that was my jersey number throughout all of my life, so I'm
Oh yeah.
kind of biased on that end. I'm like, yeah, as long as you get 25 or more, I'm happy with it. But 25 ain't a bad number.
Hmm.
uh, and Jesse, he's been killing it too. 23 is just two numbers short of 25 too. So I give him that credit as well.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, Jesse, he's been a spark plug for the guys every week, especially leading up to the season. So I know there's a lot of fans. Waylib, one of our biggest fans, he is always chiming in saying, man, showing credit, showing love to Jesse. So I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to him getting some time too. Again, Chance, Stevie Richmond, Yogi. I could go on and on. B,
Hmm.
all of those guys. I'm looking forward to seeing. But I think my spotlight again probably comes back down to Dylan. I'm ready to see Dylan get his love, man. 3 weeks in
Yeah.
a row. 3 weeks in a row where he should have probably won this, even though AB did his thing, and I'm not knocking it. Dylan he keeps coming out week after week as well, and he's putting up numbers. He's probably gonna be the guy at the end of the season. that holds the record for most points scored for the Instigators. You know, that's the way
Yeah.
I'm seeing this shape out at the moment. Obviously, there's still a long season to go. Still a lot of guys on the roster that want to take that credit as well. So we'll see. But I think I'm looking forward to seeing how Dylan. I'm looking forward to see how everybody comes off of this road trip. But I think if I'm gonna put the spotlight on anybody right now, Dylan, it's the fourth game. You've been in the running all 3 weeks. Make it a blowout this time. Make it a
Yeah.
blowout. Just just do it, dude. Just come out, put up like 100 points, put up probably like 50 rebounds, just so you're like one more rebound than AB will get. And just however many assists you're gonna get because you got 100 points. So that'll that'll probably be a little bit less than average at the moment, but make up for it by going hell, get 150. Why are we selling ourselves short? Get 150 points. Go out there, do what you do. Do it in 20 minutes, so the other guys can get their minutes. And yeah, that's my guy this week.
Yeah, and I
The
think
defense.
we both talked about the partnership we started last week with Fan
Yeah,
Controlled. So he was one of the guys we were talking about the votes. So I'll pull up just like an example vote from this past week, over under for the total points. But I know both of us on the broadcast were like, bet all your coins on Dylan to get the double double. And he was like so close to getting that double double, but he needed one more rebound or like a couple more assists. Unfortunately,
yeah.
he was just short. So I think both of us
Um,
lost quite a few coins off of that.
yeah, yeah. That's why I'm glad I made the disclaimer ahead of it.
Yeah.
but but yeah, it was fun to almost hit. And that's another thing too. Let's get into that. Should fans be expecting to see more instigators content on the Control app? What do you think?
Yes, yeah. So I've been in communications with people on the fan controlled side. It should be a weekly thing. I believe our votes are going to go up in the morning, if I'm not mistaken, tomorrow morning before our game. I know Josh and I, and as well as Ruthless Cutie and the fan controlled side have been discussing some picks, getting some graphics over and stuff. So should have quite a few picks for our fans to choose from. I think it's going to be similar to last week with both like over and unders, game winner, and then some player selections over and under with points, rebounds, and such for certain players.
I'm looking forward to that, man. I know just in the general community, because I as you know, you give me a lot of help also. My dog got tied up with my laptop charger. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Um, but you've been a major help with us on the social media end as well, and a lot of comments have been coming in and just input, insight, and just overall just a lot of questions regarding what the control app is and things like that, and what role they play for the instigators and this and that, and overall, it's just another community for the guys to be able to get some more light shined on them at the end of the day, which has always been our goal. From the beginning of the podcast, we've said that time and time again is our goal is to create a platform for our players to go on to bigger and better things in the future. So we just want to give another shout out to fan controlled FCSE and be able to say thank you guys for all of the help as well, because that's a major benefit for not only the franchise but for the players and everyone involved. It brings new fans to the instigators. It brings our fans to fan controlled, and so I think it works out for both ends on that aspect. So just again, thank you guys. And one day we'll get Josh and D's in a game of horse. Got to.
Yeah, yeah, hopefully. But yeah, no, it's super cool to be partnered with them. I know a lot of us, you, me, and Frosty, we all came from the fan controlled side. So to be partnered with them is really cool, to know we grew from that we actually have our own franchise now, and
Yeah,
we grew off of that, but now to be partnered with them is great again too.
it's
But
awesome. It's
I
like
think
it really did
yeah.
come full circle, dude. It's sweet.
Yeah, and I think our players like once they start hitting more of the overs on that, I think it'll give them some trash talk. That way if when fan controlled hoops comes around, they'll be like, "Hey, you guys remember like when you guys were voting on me?" So hopefully that works for them in that too.
Unless you pick the double double on Dylan this week, and that's on
Yeah,
me, I will take full blame. That's not on him, guys. That's me. That was me.
yeah,
I should
yeah.
have.
Me as well. I definitely
Yeah,
thought that was going to hit. Because
it should have.
unfortunately I have like no coins left after that.
Me neither, dude. Me neither. If you that original screenshot you just pulled up was my account, so just imagine where those 97 tokens are at now.
Yeah.
We're down there, boys. So it's bounce back season. But another part of that is I also spend a lot of money on upgrading my golf clubs on that game. So
Yeah.
so it works out both ways. I got a really good driver on the golf play zone, so
Yeah.
it works.
Well, you get
Oh,
the
that's another thing.
control tokens if you do well enough in that.
Yeah, that's another thing. So when are you gonna stop taking my fifth place, Jake?
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I saw your name out there. I'm like, I know I'm not gonna beat Nerdy or who I think Woody was up there too, and I was like, I know I can't catch those guys. I was like, is there somebody? Oh, there's Spacely. That's who I'm gonna try to beat.
I guess we got the same mindset going on because every time I see
Yeah.
you go ahead, I'm like, okay, well, this is what we're doing this week. We'll just get ahead of Jakey and then we'll be all right with the polls. I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nerdy and those guys, yeah, those are there's about a week two ahead of us at the moment. It could
Yeah.
come back any moment. I got faith, bro. We got this. We got this.
Yeah, no,
We don't got
he's
this.
like on top of it like so much. Like I miss votes from time to time. It seems like he almost never misses a vote, which is kind of crazy.
Oh, dude, I'm so out of the loop on votes. I just get lucky and
Yeah.
go in and put my picks in, but it is what it is. I get like I said, my focal point is how do I get ahead of Jake in the golf leaderboard. So
Yeah.
so if you want to give me like a day or two, a little bit of slack, I just got a new driver, bro. So like
Yeah.
just hit level 10. I'm just gonna put that out there. You know, let me at least for a day let me take a screenshot and just have something to frame.
Yeah.
What level are you at on there?
I think I'm like level 8 if I remember correctly.
Okay. Okay. I spoke too soon. Then I'm not performing the way I need to be. All
Yeah.
right.
Are you're
Um,
higher than me?
you wanna send me like some screen recordings of what you're doing that's that I'm not doing or like because
Yeah,
I just
so
send it, bro. I just
there
send
there's
it.
a couple of holes. There's like for those of you who have downloaded the Control app, not only can you'd make votes for your instigators, they do have a little play zone that has golf and racing games. So we're talking about the golf game there. So there's like a couple of holes on the later levels where there's actually like a little like launcher thing. It's like a red little
Mhm.
area, and if you hit the ball there, sometimes it can like cut through a bunch of the course. I don't remember which holes, but there's like two or three, I think, that you can use those.
Okay. Noted. Noted.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's the only trick I have. I don't know how the other guys are like so much better than both of us, but that's how I got a little bit further than you.
I got one. I don't know which hole it is either yet, off the top of my head, but it's on the first course. I know that. Um,
Mhm.
that if you upgrade I think like your third, the driver you get whenever you get past, I think level 8 or whatever. If you fully upgrade that and just get a perfect shot, it's an easy hole in one. Um,
Okay.
like literally easy. I do it time and time again just to be happy to say I
Yeah.
can do it. It don't give me any points because it actually isn't the highest scoring way to go about doing it,
Yeah.
but it hit every time. So it's a nice way to level up for sure. That's what I'll do with it. But so let's see. I know this may be an earlier show today, because a lot of it leads up to tomorrow. And there's only so much that we can say, especially coming off such a tough loss last week, guys. We should have got that one, and that's something we got to eat for the rest of the time until we get back to play against those guys for the second game. But I think it's fair enough to call it a rivalry now at this point. I think we
Yeah.
know our I think we know where we want to be with this franchise, which is competing for a championship, as every team in the ABA wants to be. But I think you guys have seen enough on the court to really understand that that isn't just tossing words up in the air. I think you guys know that we have a very competitive franchise, who has just as much of an opportunity to win it. But we want to kind of shift that gear into being one of those teams that you look for in the championship. You expect us to be there, not just hope we're there. So, 108 to 100 or 118 to 110 isn't such a terrible loss unless you got so many heartstrings attached to the team as I do, or Jake, or any owner, or early adopting fan, or we we really wanted that win last week, guys. So I know we're just speaking to speak on terms of that because the game has already wrapped and we're on to the next one, and we got a big game coming up against Nashville tomorrow. Nashville Aces. Let me double check. I may be able to pull up their standings right quick. So if you want to
Okay.
kind of fill the air a little bit while I'm going over there,
Yeah.
feel free because I'm just gonna pop over to the standings right quick.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'll continue talking about last game. So we did have a first in that game as well, I believe, was the first quote unquote injury. We had
Hmm.
AB get pulled out of the game for a little bit, and it was nothing serious. It wound up being a contact. So I guess it technically counts as an injury because they pulled him out of the
Hmm.
game, but he's all set, so he's good to go. He came back in that game, and he'll be good to go this week.
Looking, so I got the yeah, that's always good to hear, especially knowing that it's AB. It's a big body of work for us to try to replace. So we're just happy that everything was okay. It wasn't nothing too serious. We were able to get the contacts. He did lose the contacts, but we were able to get him a replacement pair fairly quickly. So that's always good
Mhm.
as well. Um, Looking at the Nashville Aces. So I don't know if this is a issue with the ABA or if this is just their actual complete schedule. But it looks like they've only got 7 games scheduled this year. They've already played 2 out of the 7. They're 1-1, which for fans wondering, they are um in the Central region, and they are fellow division mates with your Instigators. They are currently 1-1, which puts them just a half game ahead of the Instigators, as we are currently in 5th place. They are tied for third with the Clarksville Phoenix, another team playing out of Tennessee as well. So the keys to those matchups, I guess I would say, is looking at the standings right now. The point differential is in the favor of the Instigators by about 25 points. So that's a plus. We're currently plus 21, even with the 1-2 record. And the Nashville Aces are -4 with a 1-1 record. They did have a very big season opener, as they've been an away team for both of these games, so this will be their very first home opener. I'm sure there's going to be a lot on the line for them as well. But they had a very big season opener this season, where they beat the Stone Mountain Strong Steppers, 155 to 148. A very defensive game for both teams. They put up a lot of points, both sides. 155 to 148. Nashville Aces came out ahead, and they didn't play for another 2 weeks. So they just played a week ago, or roughly about a week ago tomorrow. And they were away. They went to North Alabama to play the War Dogs and ended up losing 114 to 103. So both teams coming off of a loss. Obviously, we came off of a pretty close loss as well, against the number one ranked Indiana Lions. So both teams looking to kind of get back on track with this game tomorrow. Um, Another side note, looking just at these standings right now, outside of the top two teams in our division, the Indiana Lions again and the Ohio Kings, each team from that point on, the Clarksville Phoenix, the Nashville Aces, your Hoosier State Instigators, the Indiana Legends, and the Louisville Pros all have a loss coming off of last week. The three mentioned first, the Phoenix, the Aces, and the Instigators, we've only got one loss. The other teams have either a 2 or 3 game losing streak at the moment. So this will make up a big chunk of the divisional standings if we're able to get ahead. We are looking to be able to kind of get back on track altogether, guys. It's our very first away game, so there's a lot, or very first out of state away game, I should say.
Yeah.
Last week was technically deemed an away game. It was more on neutral court because we both teams actually played outside of their home venue. With the Indiana Lions playing mainly in Danville, they actually booked about 5 games of their season to be played in Indianapolis. So um, it was an away game on schedule, but it was fairly neutral, I would say. Um, However, Nashville, this is their very first game of the year at home. So don't take that crowd lightly. Do not take the team lightly based on their record because, again, they are a half game up.
Mhm.
Um, and if we're able to put a win on those guys, depending on how Clarksville plays, let's check out who they play. Um, let's hop over to the schedule. Depending on how we play against the Aces tomorrow, the okay, well, there's actually a game that hasn't been updated for the Phoenix, so I'm uncertain as to how that game went because it was actually scheduled to be played on the 18th, along with their game against the Spirits, just about 4 hours afterwards. So that's a wild doubleheader.
Yeah.
But they won't play again until December. So if we're able to get ahead, I believe that should bump us just slightly above both the Aces and the Phoenix, which will put us right at third place in our division at the moment, which again is a very early season, but it's always good to be climbing up those standings rather than descending, So how do you feel, Jake?
Yeah. I got a little choked up for a minute. But I'm looking forward to the game. It's like yeah, I think this is our first like real road trip for the guys. I believe
Hmm.
we're booking a like van or something and driving the guys out here. So I know I made the road trip myself. I think that'll give them a little bit more extra motivation. You don't want to go out on that trip and return home empty-handed. So we had a great run in the last game we played too. So I'm hoping we can, you know, uh, combine off of both of those things and wind up with a victory and maybe some hot chicken after the game.
Oh yeah, man. Nashville does have some great barbecue. That's an
Yeah.
absolute fact. So, man, yeah, I would have to say that's probably the goal, huh? Let's get this win, and then we'll get some good food in us and head back home. At least for the time being, as again we go on another away game the week after. So, we will be back in Clinton on December 17th. For those that are in the loop, we have a lot of pretty cool updates coming out there. We won't necessarily go ahead and spoil it just yet, but
Mhm.
with it being just around Christmas, look for a lot of themes coming along those lines. We also do actually have one event planned on the day before the 17th, which I believe we'll probably go ahead and make that announcement next week on this show, as
Mhm.
well as our social media and everything along those lines. It has a lot to do with giving back to the youth. So look forward to that, as obviously that's been a main goal for the team, especially with events such as the trunk or treat that we did just a few weeks ago. And wow, it's been almost a month now, man. Where does time go?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, just another cool event for the kids, leading up to the arrival again back at home after this long month long week away stretch. Uh, so get excited for that if you're at home wondering when the instigators come back. We will be back in December, mid December, and we have a couple of events in the works revolving around that home game, because that game will actually be our first home game back, and will be the one of the only home games we have in December, because we take a 2 week break afterward to kind of let the guys be with their family, get a couple more practices in, but mainly be with their family for the for the Christmas stretch. Be able to spend some time with their family and wrap up some gifts, wrap up their arms and legs in ice, because obviously this is it's a long season, guys. So a lot of basketball to be played over the next few months leading up to the into the playoffs, which is obviously our main goal at the moment. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to that. And yeah, so tomorrow we will be hosting. Do you have the graphic for the game tomorrow or no?
I do
No.
not, unfortunately, now.
Okay, no biggie. Let me go ahead. I might be able to find it. Let me reel off tomorrow, because we'll be playing in a central time zone tomorrow with the game being held in Nashville. So let me just double check and get the time correct for you guys. Okay, so looking at the flyer now, tip off pregame will begin roughly around 3:45 p.m. Central, which makes it 4:45 p.m. Eastern. And tip off will begin at 4 p.m. Central, so 5 p.m. Eastern. Um, for all of you guys that are time travelers, I'm actually in Central time zone, so this one works out well for me to be able to have a bit of familiarity with everything going on. But a cool thing with the Nashville Aces is they are hosting halftime entertainment for their home fans, and the children are going to be doing a dunk contest, and the winner will receive a 55-inch smart TV, which is pretty cool. So
That's
give those
pretty
guys
nice.
a bit of a shout out. If you're an Instigators fan, make the trip to Nashville. Give those guys a school ID, even if you're 35 years old, and kind of
Yeah.
try and win that TV. We need that. So Jake, that's a hint.
Yeah, I think I still got. I'll have to check my wallet. I might have a school ID somewhere.
I'll help you Photoshop it if not. We'll get it
Yeah.
together. But
It's like without facial hair though, and I think my hair's a lot shorter, but yeah, it's close enough.
puberty, puberty, chalk
Yeah.
it up to puberty. Man, I'm 16, dude. Just believe it. If I was there, I might be able to get past like the whole faking being the kid, but I'm not gonna win that dunk contest. So I'm rooting for you, dude. I
Yeah.
need you to do it for us. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so tomorrow, 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern, we will be going live again. We are going to be able to host a live broadcast of the game as well here on Patreon for you guys. Uploaded to our YouTube the following day, as always, for the public that wants to watch it. On the following day, however, it's just not as fun watching it live, so not
Yeah.
as fun as watching it live, I guess I would mean to say. So yeah, we're going up against the Nashville Aces, looking to continue their losing streak and kind of get back on track with ours.
Mhm.
So, but they are another tough team, guys. That's one thing with this schedule is we didn't put much fluff in these games. We've got a lot of competition coming out, so we plan to make every game as exciting as possible. But instigators by 50. I'm gonna just put it
Yeah.
out. Instigators by 50, maybe 60 if Dylan does go up to like 100 points, maybe 60. Um,
Yeah. I don't know if we'll win by quite that much, but I have a good feeling we'll be able to pull this one off. But I mean it's still going to be a difficult game, all of our schedule. We're trying to prepare ourselves for the playoffs. So we're
Absolutely, yeah,
playing,
dude.
some top teams.
Yeah, man. So I know, and just a shout out to that franchise as well. They've been doing a lot of they've always supported us leading up to this game as well. So there's no there's a lot of camaraderie between both franchises, which is pretty cool. Just from ownership to ownership, that's always a lot more fun to have compared to a stink face from one side or the other. So
Yeah.
that's always cool, man. But so we're definitely looking forward to it. We do play them again throughout the season, and they will be coming to Clinton, Indiana for that game. So that's a little bit down the stretch right now. Main focus is November 25th. But I know you're just a few hours away over in Georgia at the moment. I know you'll be at the venue, so make as
Yeah.
much noise as you can. Even if you might have to be on the commentary side, just our fans will be able to put up with you yelling in their ear. So just make some noise. Say James told me to tell you. Don't get me in trouble,
Yeah.
but just like
I think we had Frosty had a little bit of like he popped into the camera. You heard him for a little bit in the last game, I believe.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we heard. It's always good to have our guys hyping up our guys regardless, man. Oh man.
Yeah.
It was I remember popping in the private chat. I'm like, yo, yo. um dude. But yeah, man, looking forward to it as always. And you have fun specifically, man. Have fun out there, dude. I wish I could
Yeah.
be out there. My schedule just wouldn't allow me to at the moment. With everything going on my end, especially on the work side, kind of uh keeping away from fun, which I have to talk with those guys about. But I'm sure
Yeah.
they'll be open
Well,
eared about that one. But yeah, man, just have fun out there, dude. And let's root for the instigators as always. Let's get us another win. Let's get us another win. First away game win. We'll take that.
yeah, and this
Um,
this
so
winds up being the shortest shortest travel for me, being in Florida. I think it's about a 10-ish hour drive, so the games to Indiana is an extra few hours on top of that. So it's a little bit
how
nice to have
far
a
how
shorter
far
drive.
away is how far away is Mobile, Alabama from Daytona?
I honestly have no idea because I know you have to go like up through Florida and then you'll go west. So
Hmm.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
Let me double check. I might be
But
able to pull up.
yeah, I would
The
think it's
or
closer. Yeah.
Mobile may very well be. It's pretty further south of Daytona. So let me double check right quick. Because for those that know, Mobile is actually where the championship tournament will be held this year. So that may be another travel trip that we all got to kind of arrange around because it's just a big day, right? Or big few days because it is actually a 3 day, I believe, 3 day trip. Let me pull it up on maps.
Yeah,
Is that
and a
hey,
reminder,
actually,
yeah, a reminder. I said if I showed my tattoo. If we wind up winning the championship, I'll add the championship underneath the tattoo I already have.
my guy, dude. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you get me hype every time you bring that up, bro. Oh man, yeah, it's actually only a 6 hour, about 6 hours and 45 minutes. So that's not too bad. I mean,
Yeah,
it's some drive time, but it ain't like you said, it ain't a trip to Clinton or nothing by any means.
yeah,
Might even
yeah.
be able to get home for a day or two. You
Yeah,
know?
and I don't have to drive through Atlanta. Atlanta's always crazy with traffic.
Yeah, yeah. Screw those guys. But anyways,
Yeah.
I think we're nearing the end of it here.
Mhm.
Just want to give another shout out to Peanut for winning the $20 gift card, man. I will reach out personally. I'll get that sent over to you. Hopefully by the end of the night. So you'll have that in hand and be able to do what you do with it. And again, shout out to every single one of you guys that are subscribed to the Patreon. We wouldn't be doing this without you. We couldn't do this without you. So we want to say thank you guys as well. Hope you all had a very, very happy Thanksgiving. Hope you guys have a great November 25th as well as we go up against the Nashville Aces. And same to you as well, Jake. I hope you guys had a great day yesterday as well. And until next time, we are the Apex of Sports, the Apex Athletic Collective. Until then, be great, instigate. See you, bro.